Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. The final JDQ quiz of the week. JDQ quiz? No, that's wrong. The final JDQ of the week. I said this on a couple of podcasts ago. I really need to write these intros down, but I can't work off a script because it just doesn't feel natural. You'd think from my acting background I could work with a script, but it just doesn't feel natural. I like the off-the-cuff words that just sort of babble out of my mouth. Anyway, let's try that again. Welcome everyone. It's the final JDQ of the week. Hopefully you're you've had a wonderful week so far, whatever it is you've been doing. But don't forget, the weekend is mere hours away, unless you work at the weekend, which your weekend will be a few days away. I remember when working in the motor trade that my weekends, I used to get one weekend in 4 off, but for the rest of the time my weekend used to be a Tuesday and a Wednesday. But yeah, so hope you've having a great week, whatever it is you're doing. Another 5 questions then to finish off this week and to end off another week 7 of JDQ. Week 7, this is bonkers. How many questions have already gone through? But yeah, so your last chance to make sure you get your scores onto the leaderboard. Can you win out for this week with the highest average as well? You should have seen some tweaks and changes on there as well. Just one of the things that was requested, Alan requested and a few others. They wanted to see on the leaderboard how many attempts, like how many quizzes people had played. So for example, if someone was top of the leaderboard and they'd only played, like in a week they'd only played 1 quiz, then it would kind of, you know, sort of make sense as to potentially why they were top of the leaderboard. So you should have seen some of those changes. You should see that on the leaderboard you'll have how many quizzes the person has played. On your profile page now you should be able to see your own position on the leaderboard as well. It's been giving me a bit of a headache, that one, trying to get that working, but fingers crossed that should be working by the time you get to this. So you'll see your true position on the leaderboard. So if you're not in the top 10, at least you can see how far away you are and stuff like that. And obviously on your profile page it's got all of your scores there as well. And if you have just started playing JDQ, or if you've just started using the Quiz Hub but you've been playing JDQ since the beginning of January, you can go back. If you've got a record of your scores, you can go back and you can add your historic scores on as well, so you can help yourself populate the all-time leaderboard so you can see how you've done so far playing JDQ from whenever it was you started. Right, I have got 5 questions then, as always, for you. There's a musical in here, there's a board games, a couple of TV questions, and there's also a languages question as well. I'm a bit reluctant to do 2 TV questions, but the one of them's a bit cryptic, so I'm kind of happy to leave it in just for today. Right, let's get going then. Eyes down, pens at the ready, brains switched into gear. Let's see how you do with today's selection, starting then with question number 1. In which musical would you find the characters Javert, the Bishop of Digne, and Thénardier? That's pronounced wrong. Thénardier? Thénardier. In which musical would you find the characters Javert, the Bishop of Digne, and Thénardier? Thénardier. You'd think I'd have broken this down phonetically, really, wouldn't you? But that doesn't exist in my brain. Question number 2. Z and which other letter are worth 10 points in the board game Scrabble? So Z and which other letter are worth 10 points in the board game Scrabble? Question number 3. What comes next in this list? Troughton, Pertwee, Baker, Davison even. What comes next in this list? Troughton, Pertwee, Baker, Davison. Number 4 then today. Mardi Gras translates from French to English as fat what? So Mardi Gras translates from French to English as fat what? I meant to check actually when Mardi Gras is. Let's have a quick look while you're thinking of that question. Mardi Gras 2025. Ah, not that far away. Only a couple of weeks away. And your final question then today, which game show saw contestants spin a wheel and pick letters and try to solve anagrams? So it's not really anagrams. solve word puzzles on the screen. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know why I've left the word anagrams in there. Which game show saw contestants spin a wheel and pick letters and try to solve word puzzles? There we go. Yeah, anagrams is where you rotate all the letters. You don't do that on this game show. Anywho, right, and that is all of your questions then for today for the final JDQ of the week. Make sure you've got your answers written down. Make sure you've got them locked in your brain. No cheating, no trying to switch the answers as I give them. Make sure you've got them all ready to go. Dave is here with your 5-second countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay, then let's see how you did with today's JDQ questions. Question number 1 today was this: in which musical would you find the characters Javert, the Bishop of Digne, and Thénardier? It is Les Mis. Bring him home. Number 2, Z, and which other letter are worth 10 points in the board game Scrabble? It is Q. Number 3, what comes next in this list? Troughton, Pertwee, Baker, Davison. It's Colin Baker. Yeah, they are the Doctor Who's from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on to the 5th Doctor. So yeah, Colin Baker comes next in the list. Number 4, Mardi Gras translates from French to English as Fat what? It is Tuesday. Fat Tuesday, which is coming up on the 4th of March 2025. So Mardi Gras is just around the corner. Oh yeah, so the Fat Tuesday is the last day of the carnival season, as it always falls the day before Ash Wednesday, so otherwise known as also as Pancake Day. There you go. Number 5, which game show saw contestants spin a wheel and pick letters to solve word puzzles? It is Wheel of Fortune. There you go, ladies and gents. That is all of your questions and answers then for JDQ Week 7. Your tiebreaker question is this: the Guinness World Record for the largest wave surfed is how high in feet? Yeah, slightly concerned about how high this actually is, but there we go. But then I can't swim, so any kind of water-related events would quite happy to bob around in the water doing doggy paddles or just sort of floating, but yeah, any kind of swimming and stuff just goes right out the window, including going under the water. Don't like that. But yeah, so the Guinness World Record for the largest wave surfed is how high in feet. Nearest to it gets the point if you're using it to separate your teams. Don't forget, if you're playing on Quiz Hub and you're adding your scores on there, you do need a tiebreaker answer. The Guinness World Record then is 86 feet. I mean, that's tall. That's like, what am I, 6 foot? So 10, 16, no, 12. Oh yeah, it's a lot. It's high. It's very tall. I don't even know what I was trying to work out then, but yeah, it's very, very tall. And then we go, ladies and gents, then that is JDQ Week 7 all done and dusted. So I'm back next week. Another 25 questions for you, Monday to Friday next week. Thank you so much for your support with JDQ. It's very, very much appreciated. Don't forget then to add your scores to Quiz Hub or share your scores with me across my social media platforms. Instagram details are all in the description. And continue to keep sharing it with everyone that you know, even people that you don't know. You know, maybe you sat on a train and you're listening to this right now, and there's a person sat across you doing a puzzle book or something like that. Just give them a nudge and tell them, hey, I know the best 5-question daily quiz that you could listen to and get yourself involved. But yeah, do keep sharing. I'm really, that is my target. I'm not overly, I'm not overly, overly ambitious. That's the word I'm looking for, to try and get it into the top 10 or anything like that. There's some incredible podcasts out there, including my very, very good friend Naomi's Real Crime podcast. She's top of her charts for real crime and stuff like that. So yeah, all I want to do is just get into that top 100. That's my target, and we're not far away from it, and it'll just be an incredible achievement, not just for me, but for you guys as well playing along, to know that you're listening to a top 100 podcast. All right, that is it from me then, for not just for today, but for this week as well. I will see you next week. Have an incredible weekend, whatever it is you're doing, and I'll be back on Monday with another 5. I'll see you soon. As always, for me, take care. Stay safe.